The Propcast on the Sports Game Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. They're coming to customers, play just $5, get $100 bonus funds. Use promo code SGPN.
And Peggy the shot, the ground downfield. He gets the catch, and he gets in for the touchdown. The catch is made by Calvin Ridley. Wilson, as he throws deep.
And welcome, everyone, to the Propcast here on the Sports Game Podcast Network. It is currently Friday morning, October 24th, around 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm Rose Skyward Show, once again joined by Roseberg together for to break down our favorite props for NFL Week 8. Feels kind of weird. The season is already almost halfway there. But here we are. We've had a great season so far. I know we absolutely crushed the Monday night card again. I ended up
Again.
That was the second straight Monday night where we basically won almost everything.
Third straight island game that we crushed.
Yeah, pretty much.
We crushed Thursday. We swept Thursday, too.
Yes, I ended up sweeping the Monday card. It felt pretty good. I really didn't have a doubt in any of the plays, but I know you also did well. Underdog, I believe, fell a little bit short by like a yard or two from Jigba for the longest catch. But once again, great overall episode. Adam, how's it going with you? What's up?
It's good. Can you believe we're at week 8?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
That's why you said. I know it's. I'm making. So
I think it's a running bit.
I think it's a running bit too.
So.
No, things are good, and if you follow on all the other BS that we do, look, I'm done. We've made you money.
Yeah, you also
or we've made you just good feelings if you don't bet with actual money.
I guess. I mean, I was going to say, if you also throw in the props that you send out on Twitter, you went, I think it was 6-1 last night.
6-1.
Yeah. Once again, it's been a very good start to the season. We're going to try to keep it rolling here for NFL Week 8. I'll ask you briefly, though, because we can kill some time. Any thoughts on the game last night? Are the Vikings like?
I was on a train coming back from New York. I thought that. I mean, I didn't upgrade the Chargers. The Vikings stink.
Yeah, that was kind of
my entire cap on that game was what's weird though. So here's the weird part. I think so. My cap on some of the plays that I had given out. We don't have to like dive into all of it, but like Hawkinson's completely out of this offense unless they're in a different game script, and that's why I was like, I'm out. I'm definitely taking the under on his first half. Mason can't get any yards after contact.
They also brought back Jones, so Mason really never.
Yeah, but Jones is kind of that, like, it's weird. He's like a big play running back. You know what I mean? I mean, Wentz was inept. So
yeah,
Wentz cried.
I'll put it this way: Wentz at one point had a pass that was deflected up in the air, and he swatted it down with his left hand. And he just destroyed his shoulder while trying to swat down his own pass, which I thought was pretty interesting, which I've not seen probably in my entire life. I do want to ask you, though, with Wentz basically becoming he was basically I'm trying to think of the way to describe it. He was a human sacrifice in the game yesterday where the Vikings let him die on the field. Do we just assume McCarthy's starting next week?
Yeah, they've already said that, too.
I'm saying that's just, do you think 100% confirmed at this point?
I do.
All right, well, Carson Wentz,
because they have 10 days.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there that after Wentz was basically destroyed on TV, I do wonder if McCarthy's guaranteed to start. I'd assume yes for the next game. I see HB. I'm mentioning Happy World Series Game 1 day. A reminder, we also did a World Series props episode, and we gave out our MVP thoughts. So if you do want some baseball opinions for the World Series on some futures, etc., check out the MLB episode. We also posted it on the Propcast channel. So if you do want to check it out on the MLB Gambling Podcast or on the Propcast, we already did our thoughts for the World Series props. Anyway, anything else you want to add, or should we just move on into the games for Week 8?
We can jump into it.
Cool. So before we get into any of the props that we actually have, a reminder, the NBA does tip off this week, and we've seen a couple of great games. A bunch of games have gone to overtime already. But a reminder, you can check out the NBA Gambling Podcast for daily free picks. We record Monday through Friday. So once again, a lot of content for basketball. Tune in on the NBA Gambling Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast, whether it involves YouTube, Spotify, Apple, you name it. But check out the NBA Gambling Podcast. I'm going to be recording that episode after this, actually, at around 11 a.m. Eastern. But once again, check out the NBA Gambling Podcast for your NBA content. So moving on into our props for NFL Week 8. Adam, I'll let you go first. What's going to be your first prop for Week 8?
So my first prop for week 8, I had my notes up and now my notes are gone. Gonna go with this was the late ad right before we jumped on, but I'm gonna go with J.K. Dobbins under 16.5 rush attempts.
Okay.
So this game is a high total, 50.5. And I expect it to kind of have a lot of points. I like the Cowboys in this game. Denver doesn't have a good deep defense. Cowboys do not have a good deep defense. So we know that is very well documented. Mm-hmm. And when games go over their total, even when they have, I was looking at this, and when games have, 49 or more yards, Dobbins is under in 4 of his last 5. It's just not really a game script that I really like from him. Even if you didn't want to include that, he's under in 7 of his last 10. It's the Cowboys rush defense has been just mid, not as bad as their pass defense. But this is, Rico Dowdle had a billion yards against them, but that was also a different situation because Chuba wasn't there. They don't like this. Obviously, there's RJ Harvey. There's a lot. There's Bo Nix. There's a bunch of different ways that they could be running with stuff. If you look at just kind of the matchups on the people that went over it's fine. But the Corey Croskett-Merritt went under. He's kind of the same type of back, same build. Breece Hall went under type of situation. DeAndre Swift, same kind of build, I would say, went under. Tyron Tracy weeks ago went under before Scatterboo existed. So this is just kind of even Saquon went under. That's a bell cow. So in the first game of the season. So we're going to do J.K. Dobbins under 16.5 rush attempts against the Cowboys.
If you think the game's going to be close, then you kind of avoid the blowout script where they're going to be running the ball a ton.
I don't even think it's going to be a blowout script. I just don't think it's how either of them are going to play this game. And just
I'm saying it does help, though, if you get to avoid the blowout script where the Broncos are up a ton and they just start running the ball solo to drain clock.
Right. I see what you're saying. Yes.
So, yeah, I can get behind that, too. What was the price on that play?
Minus 110.
All right. So for my first play, I actually ended up with a bunch of receiving yard props for this game. I was looking at it, I was trying to find my usual kicker prop for the week. Didn't really like much.
I didn't either.
I thought about maybe Nick Folk, and then I realized I really would rather not spend money on the Jets, but his over 1.5 field goals was plus 110. So I thought about it, but it's the Jets. So I decided not to bother. Instead, I had some receiving yard plays. First one, I'm going to go with Keon Coleman. I'm going to take his under 44.5 receiving yards at minus 110. He's on the field a lot, but kind of like Gabe Davis last year, you don't actually notice him for a decent portion of the games because he's had less than 32 receiving yards. 32 receiving yards he's had less than in 10 of his last 12 games. Panthers also very good against opposing wide receivers. Panthers are allowing the 4th fewest receiving yards per game to opposing wide receivers.
Great.
A reminder that since Coleman is a rather big target, he's probably on Horn Island. I like Horn. I think Horn's a very good corner. So I do think it's a bad matchup for Keon especially. But at the end of the day, once again, his numbers aren't good. Dating back to last season, less than 32 in 10 of his last 12. They still have Shakir. They still have a good ground game. I think there are a couple other ways to move the ball against this defense. And Keon Coleman has just not been cutting it lately. But 44.5 against this Carolina defense, which has been quite underrated so far this season. And if you want to also throw in the fact that Carolina has been much better at home than on the road, the game is also in Carolina, which I do like. Games in Carolina. So I do like the fact that I think this defense might ball out. I think worst case scenario, other guys eat that is not named Keon Coleman. Give me Coleman under 44.5 receiving yards at minus 110.
Yeah, I like it. He probably won't be as much him on the island only because they play a lot of zone.
Yeah, but that too.
Your point's still right. Coleman is much more of a red zone guy. He always was in college too. Yeah. I never got the so all of it makes sense that he hasn't had the yards because they don't really use him.
For a guy that big,
they don't use him to get downfield.
Yeah, for a guy that big with I'd say an underrated amount of athleticism, they really don't get him out in space a lot.
No, they never do. But just to give everyone an idea, though, he's going to probably line up on the J.C. Horn side of the ball. J.C. Horn, the last Okay, so against the Jets, I'm assuming it was Sauce. 6 targets, 3 receptions.
I think you mean Garrett Wilson, but still.
Garrett Wilson, yeah. Garrett Wilson, my bad. Garrett Wilson, 41 yards on. It looked like he needed it. Probably got one of those.
And he had 2 picks, so yeah.
Right. 38 yards for probably Pickens, and he had 43 yards from guessing Waddle. Anyway, he's been great. He's been fantastic.
So the point is, I'll fade Coleman here. I think this number's too high for a guy that has a hard time reaching 35. So I'll go with the under on his yards.
I like his TD. I don't like this.
Yeah, that's fine. And that could be a decent reverse correlation if you want to go for that. Maybe under yards with the touchdown, which could be fun. But either way, what's going to be your second prop for week 8?
Second prop that we're going to do is going to be here. I can delete now that what we had last week because we crushed it. But second one that I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to go with Jackson Dart, longest completion under 35.5. I think that this is an absolute. This is obviously there's bias, but I think this is an absolute smash spot for the Eagles. I don't think this defense is going to get nearly as exposed as they
Revenge
did.
game.
It is not well. So Giants are 1-4 in the ATS in their last 5 division road games. 1-4 ATS against opponents in a revenge spot. Eagles are 9-3 ATS in revenge spots. So I think they blow them out.
And the passing game got working for the Eagles again.
Right. But my biggest point on all this is that Jackson Dart has only gone over this number once. And you know what that was? It was last week with the 40.
That was when Bellinger was wide open by 40 yards. Or the deflected pass. I don't remember which one was.
This deflected.
Went over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. You got it. You nailed it.
I didn't remember if the Bellinger one was also over this, but I remember the Theo Johnson deflected pass.
Yep. It's just not. I don't think this is happening. So there's a lot of reasons why. We're going to take the under 35.5 minus 120.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants aren't really built to generate that many big plays through the air when you look at the offense because you have Scadaba, you have Dart who wants to run. A lot of his letting a rookie quarterback get the ball out of his hands quickly. He had a deep attempt to Hyatt, which he overthrew towards the end of that Denver game. But as you mentioned, I feel like the offense is mainly predicated on short intermediate routes mixed in with Scadaba just being physical and some Dart mobility.
Wait, what did you call him?
Scadaba?
Scadaboo.
I say Scadaba.
Really?
I do.
That's it. All right.
I'm edgy like that. But yeah, either way, point is that
that's a very different emphasis on a different syllable, but that's fine.
I like different
right.
syllable once again focuses. But either way, point is I think the offense, as you said, is basically focused on other areas, which is not predicated on deep passing. So
it's just I also just don't think that and the Eagles have given us some defenses like this Eagles there's a reason they signed Brandon Graham the week it's week before the bye to do this. Like they have packages for him ready.
Yeah,
I think that I think the Eagles are going to smack this team. That's why I took the alt 9.5.
You can also argue after the Giants collapse in the fourth quarter that if they fall behind early, they might not dig themselves out of it. So there are a couple of mental aspects you can also include for that handicap too. But yeah, I like it. I mean, Dart, we've not really seen take many attempts downfield. And the one that went over was a deflected pass where the guy caught it and then ran 30 yards. So yeah, I don't mind it. I think it's a good play for your second prop. Anyway, before we get into my second prop for the show, a reminder they're brought to you by our sponsor, MyBookie.ag. Who's Bookie?
My Bookie.
So using to bet on football, college football, tennis, basketball, NHL. They have a prop builder second to none. You can also use crypto for funding your account for getting payouts. And a reminder, when you actually head to MyBookie.ag, use the code SGPN to get 100% bet back bonus of $500 from your customers. Book.ag promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig, which is America's number one prediction market for sports. You're getting some great prices using Novig. They have reduced juice for a lot of options. And a reminder, it's available in a bunch of states, 35 plus. And you can also go to the app, get $50 and spend just $5 if you use a promo code SGPN. Get on the actual Novig, promo code SGPN. Spend $5, $50 in bonus funds. Welcome back, everyone, to the Propcast. Finish going through the first couple props that we have for Week 8. Time to move on into my second prop for the show. So I'm going to go with a first quarter play. I've been pretty good with these so far this season. I know Monday night I had Montgomery under the rushing yards in the first quarter, which got there. This time, I'm going to go to the matchup between the Steelers and the Packers, the Aaron Rodgers revenge game, I guess. But either way, give me Jonnu Smith I'm going to take the first quarter over 3.5 receiving yards at -114. Jonnu might not get used that often, but he's definitely used early in games. So far this season, he's had at least 5 receiving yards in the first quarter in 5 of the first 6 games this season. Packers also really bad against tight ends. I know in the underdog entry that we had last week, we had McBride have over his receptions because they don't actually guard tight ends.
Billion.
He flew over the number. Packers allowing the most receptions to opposing tight ends and the 10th most receiving yards to opposing tight ends.
Highest opposing check down rate in the league.
And Jonnu, we know with the role in the offense, is kind of a check down guy. He had the first touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, he's exactly this role. They get him going early. He's not
pretty much. So they're going to get him going early. Washington, people talk about being this freak athlete. You look up and he has like 5 yards. He doesn't actually do anything.
There's no point for him other than touchdown.
No, he's a gimmick player. So Jonnu is more of the bulk tight end usage guy.
He only had 25 catches in college.
Yeah, I know Freiermuth also had a monster game against the Bengals, but Jonnu still went over this number on Thursday night last week.
That was partially, the Freiermuth was partially game script.
Yeah, you had a broken play too as well, where he called one pass for like 60 yards. But the point is Jonnu in the first quarter does get used a lot. Packers really bad against tight ends. 3.5. That's basically 1 catch. I think Jonnu gets at least 1 catch against the worst tight end defense team in the entire league. Give me Jonnu first quarter over 3.5 receiving yards at -114. I
like it.
So it's kind of a niche play, but I still like it. So there you go.
Like we gave out Hawkinson first half yesterday. We've been diving into those a lot more.
But I've been experimenting more with first quarter as the the Kincaid play that I had a couple weeks ago that got there against New England. I think it's a good spot for Jonnu, so I'll go for that. Moving on to your final prop for week 8. What do you like?
There's a couple things that I like. There's other stuff that I'm going to put out. But I'm going to go to this Colts game.
Okay.
Where they are 14-point favorites over the worst team in the league, the Tennessee Titans, who did not get a bounce up last week.
What are the Colts favorite again? About like 13.5?
14.5 points. One of the things that they've said that they were going to do more of is they were going to start including Tajay Spears more in some of their plays. Shout out Michael Huff Adam, bring back the old balloons on the top of the wall. Man, that was a long time ago, man. I painted over that. Anyway, the Colts, I think, are going to bludgeon this team. Fun fact for all you guys for high spreads. When you have a spread that's 7 or more and you like the fave, take the alt. It's just always good. Like for the Eagles, I didn't lay the 7 or whatever. I did 9.5.
At the end of the day, I know Indiana Jones getting a ton of the credit as you should. This defense is also really good.
Also, what's her name? The owner's calling plays. Can't give Steichen all the credit. Anyway. Gonna go with Tajay Spears over 14.5 receiving yards. It's even money. Increase in target share the last 2 weeks, but more importantly, he is the 2-minute drill guy. Mm-hmm. So he is the guy that they go to when they are down, and the Colts move back into cover shell defense, which I never know why they do these things.
It's the drain clock mostly. You're going to force the other team to kill a minute or two minimum just going down the field. But
sure,
you give up a bunch of free yards. I mean, that's the argument.
Yeah. But Colts have given this up to all but one running back, and they have the 12th fewest yak in the league, and so that's why I think that his reception numbers at 2.5. So that kind of leads everything to believe that they're going to be throwing at him under the sticks. Really, probably need 2 of these to get there. Spears, someone who they're trying to get involved more. 15 receiving yards, -102. It's for a good game script of being down.
I like it. I mean, I think most people expect the Titans to get destroyed in this game because the Colts defense is very good and the Colts offense has been quite good. So
parts of the Colts are good. The Colts offense is elite.
Yeah. Against this defense, I think the Colts offense should light it up. So based on that,
yes,
if you're looking at what could be a good game script, Spears is also the backup running back technically. So if the Titans start lifting some starters for some reason, Spears probably just gets that work anyway.
They're just trying to give him more work altogether. I mean, you have a new coach in there to do this. They said this a couple weeks ago that they wanted to give him more work.
Yeah.
He's got a bad knee, but you and I loved him at Tulane.
Yeah, we did. But once again, I feel like even if you're worried that the game's going to get so out of reach,
it's even better for us.
The
then
Titans start pulling people. Spears isn't the starter, so he should
Pollard's
still be getting run. Yeah, he
I
should be getting run with the second unit anyway. So I like it. I think it's a very good play.
I just think they're going to be using a lot of change. They have to use a receiving back a lot, and this is just something.
Yeah, we know they can't block anybody. So you're looking at what could be even just pressures where he gets rid of the ball with a check down. So that's fine too. So yeah, I like that play as well. Now for my last play, we actually disagree on, which is kind of fun. But it's going to be between the Dolphins and the Falcons, and I'm going to go with Malik Washington under 28.5 receiving yards. Thought about Tua pick. It was minus 140, so I couldn't do it. A bit too juicy for this show. But the Malik Washington receiving yards under is at minus 115. He's at less than 23 yards in 6 of the first 7 games this season. Did go over last week because the Browns, of all teams, buried the Dolphins. But either way, you're looking at the Falcons' numbers defensively. They're very good. The Falcons are allowing the 3rd fewest receiving yards per game to opposing wide receivers. Now, the Falcons this season have been really just a bizarro team. They're really, really good at home and kind of useless on the road. They're at home for this game. But the Falcons' defense has been very good this season. We saw them shut down the Bills, for example, a couple weeks ago on Monday Night Football. Tua, I think, is going to struggle. I get Washington could be a check down guy for this game. There is no Waller, so you can make an argument he might get more usage. But I don't really think Washington is used in a big play setting. They try to get him into space, but it's mostly through checkdowns, hoping there's some yak involved. And the Falcons have been very good at limiting big plays in the passing game, especially at home. I really like this defense in the stadium. And I think Washington, simply put, is not that great. I think he's more of a gadget player. If he ends up catching 5 passes and goes over, it is what it is. But I do think that there are not really many big plays for him. And with that being said, I like this defense quite a bit. So I'll go for Malik Washington under 28.5 receiving yards at minus 115.
So in theory, I'd like it. My issue with it is that the line, them being 7-point dogs, is telling you that they're going to do gadget stuff because they're going to be down. That all being said, I don't not like it. I'm just saying that the reason why it wouldn't be the first one that I go to.
That's fine. You're pushing back. It's all good.
Right. But that said, I like the Dolphins in this game. Okay. And I think everyone should bet it. Basically, if you don't like the Dolphins in this game, don't bet this. If you do like the Dolphins in this game, bet this. And the reason why I'm saying that is because first of all, Tua played in the Mercedes Dome. He came off the bench and won them a championship. Actually, do you want to hear about? You want to go down memory lane? You want to hear the box score on this? Let me. I'm
trying to remember. The starting quarterback for Georgia was Jake Fromm.
Bingo. Former New York Giant great. Sony Michel was on that Georgia team. Nick Chubb, DeAndre Swift, Mecole Hardman.
Did I ever tell you?
Henry Ruggs, Rip. Damian Harris, Josh Jacobs. Dude, this Bama team was stacked.
It was.
Hurts was on that team. Anyway, my point is that my point on all this is that I actually don't expect as bad of a game for Tua, and it's nothing to do with the 2018 game. It has more to do with the fact that he's inside and protecting the elements. I think both these quarterbacks are going to do pretty well with that. So I kind of like the over here. Diablo hurt on the Falcons side. I think it's a huge deal. I think he wore the dot. Pretty sure he did, but like anytime you lose a linebacker, I think it's a big deal. So like his arm looked broken. Mm-hmm. So like they immediately ruled him out when he hurt his forearm, which usually means it's broken. So anyway, that all said, this is a long-winded way of saying if you are like me and you like the Dolphins, because the Falcons shouldn't be laying 7 to anybody.
With that offense, I don't think.
Right. Then I don't think Washington's going to be a factor in a regular moving offense. I think he is a factor in an offense that is down 14 plus points.
Yeah, and the only time he went over was when they got buried by Cleveland last week. So, yeah, once again, you think it's game script dependent. I'm fine with that, so I can go with the under for this. Cool. Did I ever tell you the time that Jake Fromm actually made me money?
Was it the same way he made me money? Maybe.
I don't think so. What was the way he made you money?
Giants team total under 9.5 in 2021.
Okay, so that was actually yes, but that was not what I was. I forgot that existed, but that was not what I was referring to. Okay. We actually did fade Jake Fromm a couple of times. Was Fromm the QB? Was he the QB sneak quarterback?
Yeah,
he was. Okay, yeah. So actually, yes, but the first time he made me money off the football field.
How? Poker?
So it was offshore, and one book was posting NFL draft props, but it was like the miscellaneous nonsense. So the max bet was like $25, but Fromm was going to get drafted. He ended up sliding. Who cares? I bet on the NFL draft coverage from ESPN to mention at any point during the broadcast that Jake Fromm played in the Little League World Series. It was the only fun fact that they had about Jake Fromm. And you know that when people get drafted, they show some random like fun fact nonsense. It was the only thing people had on Fromm. So I just bet $25 to win 25 that Fromm would end up being mentioned during any point of the broadcast that he played in the Little League World Series. So it happened, and they graded it as a loss. So I had to complain to support about $25, and eventually I got paid. So that's my Jake Fromm story. I bet on his NFL draft coverage to feature the words Little League World Series, and I won $25. That's my Jake Fromm story there for betting.
Yeah, I think my Jake Fromm stuff was like right before you and I met. But it was that run where the Giants had like.
No, we talked about it. We had that.
I think we always talk about with Jake Fromm. Anyway, he stinks.
Yeah, but either way, once again, that's my little niche fun story there. But either way, I'm moving into your bonus bets. Anything that you liked but did not make the cut.
Stuff that will be on my card that did not make the cut. Why do I have a note about Israeli airstrikes?
That's for Dean Kramer. The Orioles are not in the World Series.
Lamar 30 rushing yards at plus 106 is.
I thought about the rush attempts actually for Lamar. So
well, the thing is that his rush attempts is 5.5, and this line is very low.
Correct.
So it's to me it's very low. I don't think he's playing if he can't do it.
I was eyeing Lamar rushing stuff too, though. So
yeah, it's that. Well, I gave it to you. I gave you yesterday. I said, we're taking this. So, because to give everyone an idea, that is lower than Josh Allen's line usually is. Josh Allen's line is usually between 33 and 38.
And the Bears gave up 40 plus to Daniels last week,
and they gave up 31 to Geno.
Yeah.
Are there any Jewish NFL players? Greg Joseph is who I can remember.
Yeah, I don't know if he's still kicking for anybody.
I don't think so either.
I mean, after the extra points, the Giants might want to call him back, but I don't know if he's on a team at this point, so who knows?
I think he got kicked out.
He might have been. I don't know.
He may have been.
I remember he had the Israeli flag cleats, I think, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Bijan 100 rushing yards plus 136. I also love.
Miami can't stop anybody on the ground.
Everybody has a career day.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Dowdle had 200 plus rushing yards,
right,
against the
Dolphins. 30 carries. Yeah. So I love that. So
you have a ladder you want to mention?
So I was gonna do that with you live. All right, let me take a look here. I'm gonna figure out a little bit of a ladder situation. I'm gonna look up. Let's first look through receiving yards, and then we'll look through rush yards, and we will see who has really low. I mean, too high. There's not like, so let me just look through this. Who else is a good, let me look at this some good ladder guys. That's what we need. Had guys jumped out to you? Tonight is usually when I take a bunch of mushrooms and I figure out how I want to do some things.
Vision Quest bets? My
Vision Quest bets, which slap. Why I have everybody's interceptions on here. Cam Ward, longest receptions.
I don't know how many catches or yards you think Spears get, but 15 is a very low floor.
We could mini ladder this.
I didn't mind going up to like 25, maybe.
Let's see. Let me look at that. No, I think that might not be a bad way to do it. Let me just see. Spears. Don't hate Kate Otten stuff either. So when Spears goes, Spears goes over, he goes way over. We could ladder this.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
He had 40 against the Colts at the end of last year. You want to ladder this to? Why don't we do 25? And
what's the price on 25?
Plus 240.
Okay, solid. 30
is plus 360. And
I think I'm good at 30. I think that's fine.
Well, I'm just trying to give you a floor because the floor is.
I'm fine with 30 being the ceiling there.
So let's do this. We'll do his 25 and we'll do his 30 and we'll do it on FanDuel and we'll do them both to win a unit. So it's like a next into it. Cool.
There you go. All right, cool. I know some people were asking for more ladders.
People were asking for ladders, yes. Even though CJ is the ladder guy, but we'll give the people what they want.
Yeah. So definitely think that could be a good option. If you wanted to go for a bolder ladder, not saying he's going to get there, but if you wanted to use that Jonnu Smith first quarter receiving yards angle from 3.5, if you wanted to bump up the first quarter line to even like 9.5, and you just think he has a solid first quarter, that's an option too.
By the way, it's an extra 0.7 units risked. So we have 1.7 units on Tajay Spears.
Yeah, I can live with that. We think the game script's gonna be perfect anyway. But well, let me just quickly see if I could find what Jonnu Smith would be for. I'm gonna
press send on this yards. For me.
That's fine.
So we're both betting it.
Yes. Right now, I don't see any alt lines of the first quarter on Jonnu, but those usually get posted. So you can potentially find a Jonnu Smith first quarter receiving yards ladder if that does pop up. So there you go. Anyway, anything else you want to add?
No, we got to do. But here's, you want to run through our plays now or at the end?
Well, I was going to do that after best bets and Underdog, but I wanted to just ask if you had any other props you want to throw out there.
No, not yet. I was out in New York yesterday, so I didn't really have a lot of time.
Yeah, thanks for letting me see you.
Well, I was at Bryant Park, dude. You're nowhere near Bryant Park.
It's fine.
If you lived near Bryant Park, I would have hung out.
It's all good. It's all good. How do you enjoy the Amtrak?
It was. Was
it everything you dreamed of?
I had a dry Gouda sandwich. It was terrible.
That does not sound like a fun time.
It was not.
Either way. Anyway, before we get into the best bets and the Underdog entry reminder, they're brought to you by our sponsor, which is Underdog Fantasy. It's a complete fantasy pick'em. Chance to win 500 times your entry, pick higher or lower on different player stats, different sports as well. You can mix and match hockey with basketball, with esports, with tennis, with football. A lot of options you can mix and match, so check that out. And a reminder, World Series also does start tonight. So if you want to do baseball, you can do that for game one.
You need to bet Ernie Clement single.
Yeah, there you go.
Underdog, absolutely on our card.
Underdog has a brand new offer for new customers, though. Play just $5. Get $100 of bonus funds with promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. They're crushing in college football and NFL with picks and props, giving away cash prize every week. Tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type of model that you built, and you can win $1K. Also, we have a nice discount with Rhythm. If you use the code SGPN25, you're down there with the app, you can get a quarter off first month with the code SGPN25, once again, at Rhythm. Welcome back, everyone, to the Propcast. Finish going through our favorite 3 props each for NFL Week 8. Time to move on into our best bets. Adam, out of the 3 plays you gave out, what is your favorite play?
Probably, the Spears one, probably.
It's a very, very solid number.
It's a lower. I mean, he's hit it the last 2 games. He had 20, he had 19. It's just a really good game script. I mean, like the way this loses is frankly the Titans get up for this spot. It's already locked in, but do the Colts have a look ahead?
That I don't know.
I don't think look aheads exist, and
they play the Steelers on the road next week, so maybe question mark.
No, but they're not even in their division. And
I was going to say it's a division game. Like I feel like
it's not a division game. This is a division game.
No, I'm saying the Titans game's a division game, so it's tough to overlook those. I mean,
I don't know why. No, they don't have a look ahead. So
I think it's fine.
I think it's fine. Cool.
So there you go. My best bet for the show is going to be Jonnu. I'll take the Jonnu first quarter over 3.5 receiving yards. It's a D-gen play, I get it, but you know what? The Packers' defense against tight ends is hot garbage, and I do think that Jonnu, mentioned it before, the Steelers rotate between tight ends, but Jonnu does feel like he is definitely the guy in the first quarter who gets a decent amount of work. 3.5 to 1 catch. It's 3.5 receiving yards in the first quarter, minus 114. He's gone over in every game besides one this season. Packers allowing most receptions to opposing tight ends this season. I just see a great matchup and a great spot. I don't see that closing at 3.5. I do think that'll end up jumping up maybe a yard or 2, but for the matchup alone and for Jonnu's early usage in the first quarter, I got to go with it. Give me Jonnu first quarter over 3.5 receiving yards as my play at minus 114. Moving on to Underdog entry. Anything you want to use that you immediately knew we had to do this for Underdog? Anything jump off the page to you?
I mean, Like I want some of our fast Eddie.
Yeah. So Eddie's all reliable, so we'll throw
Eddie's all reliable. I mean, it's gonna. Let's see what we got here. Eddie's got to be in this.
Yeah, I mean he keeps cashing, so that's fine.
He is. Yeah. We're assuming that. Yeah, I mean it's not a great number on there, but it's minus 180, so
it's fine.
Do that.
I know it was a bit juicy on actual regular sports books, but I'll ask, even though you do like Miami, do you want to turn the ball over interception in there or no?
No, but I don't mind. I think we can do his fumbles.
That's fun.
You want to do that?
Sure. If they have that, that's a very degen. I'm in for it. I mean, Atlanta has a pretty underrated pass rush. They started blitzing a lot more too. So, and according to his quotes, he can't see Waddle downfield. So, I don't
Did he really say that?
Yeah. Said, what's the deal with Waddle? And he said, I know I'm a bit short. I couldn't see him. And I'm like, you should really just not have a microphone in front of you ever.
He threw the whole team under the bus. Okay,
Tua has some of the dumbest quotes of any quarterback I've ever heard. But either way, I think it's a good spot for Atlanta.
Let me see. There's INT. INT is on here, but I don't necessarily want that. But fumbles lost. 1 point. It's a 1.95 multiplier.
That's fun. I'm in for it.
All right, cool. We did that, and then Eddie P.
And then we need one more.
Do we?
I think so.
This is 6.16 with a boost, 4.14 without. I don't think we need anything else.
All right, that's fine. We can just do a 2-pick.
Do you want to do? Is there somebody who you like to have a TD? And we just go for glory.
I
have a lot of bonus money on this, by the way.
Okay, I'm trying to think if there's any touchdowns we want. It's your call. I mean, do you think we're just getting greedy? Do you just want the 2 picks?
Oh wait, wow. Do our bonuses? We have 3 days on one of these bonuses. We should use bonus money on this. Oh, well, we can't boost it. No, we can't boost it. Never mind. That's stupid. All right. I think we might be getting greedy.
Okay, we can just keep it at 2 picks.
We'll do 2 picks. Okay, cool. All right. So it is our guy Fast Eddie Pinheiro, higher 1.5 field goals, and then Tua Tagovailoa.
Turn the ball over.
To turn the ball over higher, fumble lost. Well, it's fumble lost.
Yeah.
He has to fumble it. He can't. I
know. Yeah. That's his nickname. Tua turn the ball over.
All right. I think that's great. I think that's good against this team.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. So once again, it is going to be Tua higher, half a fumble lost, and I forgot the other play.
Eddie Pinheiro.
And Eddie Pinheiro higher 1.5 field goals. And I think you said that pays out at 4.14.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right. And once again, Adam, just recap your 3 plays for the actual show.
J.K. Dobbins under 16.5 rush attempts. Jackson Dart under 35.5 longest completion. And Tajay Spears 15 receiving yards. And we're laddering that to 30.
Cool. So my 3, I'm going to go with Keon Coleman, under 44.5 receiving yards at minus 110. Malik Washington, under 28.5 receiving yards at minus 115. And Jonnu Smith, first quarter, over 3.5 receiving yards at minus 114. Anyway, that is going to wrap it up for week 8 of the Propcast. Now, for Monday night, there's only one game. So do you want to record an episode for Monday night with one game? Or are we only saving that for multiple games?
Yeah, we could do it.
So there we go. We're back once again to get into the Monday night game between the Commanders and the Chiefs. Shout out to Mariota. We'll see how that game goes. Either way, though, until next time, find me on Twitter, RH Radio. Find him on Twitter at Rosenberg. And good luck to all of you and all of your bets. Bye, everyone.